This is the National Railway Museum here in York, England. As I approached today, walking out from the city centre via the station, I was initially confused about the entrance location. I used to use the doors off Lehman Road where the conference suite is. I've been visiting the museum since it opened in 1975, when I was a kid in awe seeing the massive engines with my dad. This site has changed quite a bit over the years, and there's a lot more change due. But here we are. First impressions are reminiscent of what an old goods area would have been like back in the day. This is the station hall, and by the time this video is released, the whole area will be closed for redevelopment. But there are some fabulous exhibits here to look at today. Hi, I'm Warren Brand and welcome to another Linleys video. One of the very special exhibits is the original rocket. This is hailed as being the first modern steam engine. Rocket used to be in the Science Museum in London, but has been on display here for the last few years. A bit later in this video, we'll see one of the replicas, and I'll make a comparison between the two as I've some particular thoughts about some of the features. There's so much history riveted, wrought and cast into this special engine. To see it here, lit so well to enhance its features, it's hard to pull away and move on. In the station hall here, we can see some of the old coaches used by kings and queens, the Royal Mail trains, and so many more interesting exhibits. And now it's coffee time, so my wife and I will take a few minutes to enjoy a snack. From the station hall, the linking passageway takes us across to the Great Hall area. And from the origins of railway engines before with rocket, we have here the streamlined HST Loco 001. I used to travel on these trains in the 1980s and 90s up to Edinburgh, Newcastle and York here, as well as sometimes down to the West Country. This now is of course the Duchess of Hamilton, a fabulous engine and I believe is my son's favourite. Built by the LMS, I have to admit she's very, very fine with immense power and such sleek lines. However, my own favourite is Mallard 4468, a Gresley A4 Pacific loco built by the LNER and, as everyone knows, holds the world record for being the fastest steam loco. For the Gresley A4 party just over 10 years ago, my son and I saw all 6 of the preserved engines together here on display for the 75th anniversary of Mallard's speed record. Moving on, as it's not all about the Duchess and Mallard, the collection includes many special examples of other motive power locos and self-propelled carriages, and even a loco with immense driving wheels. Okay, so this is a replica of Rocket. This bright yellow one represents what the loco looked like for the Rain Hill trials. Of course, there's a whole story about that. This one is a static exhibit. There's another replica one which may move. On the other side here, there's cutaway sections so we can see the inner workings of the little loco. The info board by the old Rocket describes the design as a modern loco. This is simply because all the recognised steam and working parts are included in this one clever little loco. The type of firebox, the tubes, the blast pipe, the steam dome, the front smoke funnel, valve gear, controls and so on. I'll return to share a few points of interest about this loco right at the end of the video. But moving on again and looking around the central turntable, there are some more mighty engines. Evening Star is simply superb. My dad had 2 versions of 00 gauge models of this loco, and to see them running around his layout was so special. Cutting through the gap into the north shed, the displays here are more intricate and focus on the smaller artifacts found around the railway. Along the side wall here is the training track for signalmen back in the day to help them learn how to use the various pieces of traditional signal box equipment. Some days there are running sessions, but not today. So to conclude, bear with me when I make some comparisons between the original rocket and the replicas. Excuse me if I'm missing something, but there seems to be very little to say that they're the same design, except for some overall details like the size and position of the wheels. The chassis are totally different. The pistons are angled differently, the smoke boxes are not the same at all, and the different buffer beams. I'm confused. Can anybody help explain? My wife and I have enjoyed our visit today. I'll be back to visit again, of course, and I look forward to seeing the newly refurbished station hall, and then later on a little further, curious to see what the newly formed main entrance and the proposed new link area between the two buildings will look like. Thanks for watching and bye for now.